What's going on, y'all? What's going on? It's good to be back. I'm back. We back again. First episode of 2026. First episode of 2026. Welcome back to another episode of Voice for the Voiceless podcast, where your host is none other than your boy. Yeah. We thank God for another year. We thank God for another year of purpose. Another year of going forward. We going forward, moving forward. We going. Everything is up and it's 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 up. Now, I want to address a situation that has come across the net. Everybody going crazy. Everybody talking about it. Everybody got their own difference of opinions about it, right? And I just want to just give my observation and chime in. So, as you all know, there has been a story that has come out between artist, glorilla, entrepreneur, you know, she out here doing her thing, versus her sister. I think the sister's name is Victoria. She has come out and said some things. She has made her claim to fame, so to speak, right? She has come out and said her sister, Glorilla, has not been helping her family at all. All 10 of her siblings. She said she's obligated. She feels obligated for Glorilla to help the family, aka help her. Now, I had a chance to look at the video, right? I had a chance to, just listen and hear what she's saying, because when you sit up there and you observe and you sit up there and you listen to things, you understand. People have an agenda against you a lot of times. And when you see somebody coming out on the internet screaming and hollering, talking about this person ain't doing this for me, that person ain't doing that for me, you have to understand, or you have to try to figure out, why is it that this person not only feels this way, but why is the person that they're claiming not to offer them of any assistance in any kind of way in their lives? You gotta look at it from different angles. You gotta see why the person don't want to rock with you like that, right? So she does an interview with TMZ. She's saying that Glorilla is obligated to help her and the family, right? Now, some people might say, Isaac, you owe it to your family when you make it big. You owe it, to those that watch you grow up. You owe it to those that, was there for you in your time of need, your time of trouble and all that. That's all in good. That's all well and good. I understand that. I get that, right? But what happens when you have a family member who is irresponsible? What happens when you have a family member who is not only irresponsible, but we know when we give them a little money, they ain't gonna do right with it. They're gonna smoke it up, drink it up, party it up, whatever they do, whatever they gonna do with it, they gonna do with it. Now, they might tell you that they need it for a specific purpose or whatever, right? And usually, most times from my experience, they're not using it for what they're telling you they need it for. They're using it for other extracurricular activities, right? So anyway, she's doing an interview. She's saying that she's obligated. Glorilla's obligated to help the family, the whole family. At least that's what I got out of it. The family. She said, we came up together, roaches, water bottles. We was in the trenches. We was in the ghetto. She says that Glorilla is not the person that she's portraying to be. She's getting on interviews saying that we're struggling, or she's been part of the struggle and she ain't helping us. Well, how can you say that? How can her sister say that when it was reported and it's screenshots out there? Glorilla's mom sends her a text, and basically in the text is saying Thank you for everything that you do for us. We appreciate it. She's saying not only is Glorilla not taking care of her family, her siblings mainly, but she's taking care of her friends. She's treating her friends like royalty. Not only that, she has 2 of their other siblings that live with her in Atlanta. And she also was saying that Glorilla is acting like she retired their father, which she's saying is not true. Her father was at the time of retirement. He was at the time where he was going to retire, and he retired him. And she also is saying that the mother is still working at FedEx. Now, let me tell you something. Not all successful children that make it, whether they make it in the movie industry, the music industry, the sport world, any type of sport, any type of industry, that does not mean because if I make it that my mom or my father wants me now to take the responsibility on myself, on a part of them, to take care of them. That doesn't mean because I make it that my mother or my father wants to take me up on the offer that I give them. Yeah, great, true, very true. My mother may want to retire from her job earlier than she actually wants to, but that does not mean she wants to stop working. I could slide her off a little something because mama was there. Mama was there for everything. Mama was there when I came into this world, when I took my first breath, when I took my first steps. You know, she was there for all my doctor's appointments. She was there after school, coming up to parent-teacher conference. You know, taking care of me, clothing me, feeding me. All of that good stuff. But that does not mean that my mother wants to stop working. She may want to work until she could retire and enjoy her retirement. She may want to still work until she get them benefits kicking in. And she got nothing but time on her hands where she could do what she want. She could travel the world if she want to. That don't mean that because I make it that she wants to, like I said, wants to allow me to take on that responsibility to take care of her bills and whatever else she got. Now that would be a great thing for me to do as a son, to do it. But you know, like I said, some parents do not want to be in that light like that. They don't want to feel like they're taken away from their children. But we feel as children, to our parents especially, we feel a moral obligation to take care of them. Why? Because they took care of us. So off rip, here mama, here you go. Slide you a little something. Here dad, here you go. Slide you a little something. Now, I could give you the money. I could give anybody in my family money, but that don't mean that they gonna do right with the money. Like I said earlier, we got family members that we know ain't gonna do right with the money, and we ain't even rich, and we doing what we gotta do. We giving to who we gotta give to, and we know that person ain't gonna do right with the money. Come on, y'all. Let's be real. Let's be honest. How many times we done gave different people in our family money, and we see they on the internet partying, they on the internet in the club, they at the bar, whatever. And I'm not passing no judgment on none of my family members, but I'm just saying, I've seen this happen up close and personal with my own eyes. You know, my family, other people's family. Let's just be honest. We gotta be real. We gotta be transparent with it. You understand? We gotta do what we gotta do. We gotta be transparent. We all about transparency on this channel. We not taking no prisoners today. We not, we coming out with it. All truth. You understand? So, but like I said, you had time to come up here, do an interview, right? This is your claim to fame, because she also said that she doesn't like to be associated with the likes of her sister, that she's basically in the shadow of her sister, which means that you're going to always be associated with your sister because that's who your sister is. She's known to the world as Glorilla. Gloria Hallelujah Woods. It's her government name. That's what she said, right? That's Glorilla. That's her name. I didn't know that, but she said that. That's her name. They came up together. They was broke. They was poor, but mama and daddy did whatever they could to sustain them. And now that Glorilla's in a much better position to put her family and other people around in a better position, I'm sure she's making good on that promise, because not only have the mama said that she thanks Glorilla for everything that she has done so far for the family, it was reported that also the siblings had came out and said that too, that Glorilla is definitely helping. And if the other two siblings is living with Glorilla right now, staying with Glorilla, that's probably, more than likely, that's probably the youngest of the 10. Excuse me. That's probably the youngest of the 10. The two siblings that's living with Glorilla right now. You understand? And I could go back even, I was watching an interview with Tupac's cousin, and she was saying that even back then, Tupac took it upon himself. He wanted to take care of the whole family. And he went to her father specifically. This is what she said. He went to her father specifically. And he said, Pop, I got it. You know what I'm saying? I got it. I got it. I can take care of you now. I'm in a position where I can take care of you. You understand? And she said her father appreciated the offer that Tupac had made, but he said no. He was still working. He worked for transit for about, she said, 30 years. He was a train operator, and he did double shifts. He did overtime. He did whatever he had to do to take care of his family. And you know, they had quite a. I think if I remember correctly, Tupac's cousin said that there was a few. I think it was 7 of them or maybe 10 of them. I gotta go back, but his check took care of everybody in the family. And this had to be probably back, like I said, back in the 90s, because Tupac officially came out in the 90s. Before, like, when he got, I mean, he was with Digital Underground before that, before he got with Death Row and everything, but he officially came out, like, really, like, in the 90s, like, as you know, by himself, if you will, like a solo. He branched off eventually from Digital Underground, and he got with, you know, Suge Knight and everybody, Dr. Dre, and you know, Corrupt and everybody that was on the label at that time. But anyway, so you got to understand, just because you make it doesn't always mean that, you know what I'm saying? And this is how I would think too. I will always tell people, if I got it, you got it. And it's still like that. Till this day, it's still like that. I've helped a lot of people, man. I just don't talk about it. I've helped a lot of people, man. A lot of people. Family, blood family, even people that I considered family, you know, friends that turned into family, people that I known for a long time. I helped a lot of people, but I just don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? And it sound, you know, it sounds like she's very entitled. That's what it was given to me. She's entitled, she's ungrateful. And she said that she tried to bring everybody else into her mess. Cause from what I gathered, from my observation, it sounds a lot like she has a beef with Glorilla herself. The other family members don't have no beef with Glorilla, cause if that was the case, they would have came out and said the same exact things that she was saying, but they have not. So until they come out and say anything negative or whatever, the Glorilla ain't do this and do that, I believe everybody else in the family. This is her. I feel like this is her claim to fame, and it's not. She said, and they was asking her. They said, "What do you feel that she should do? How much money do you think that she should give?" She said $2,500. So you doing all this, sis, for $2,500? $2,500, and you aired out the family business. This could have stayed in the group chat. We didn't need to know this, but it's a good thing that you you mention this. You know why? Because we talking about it. And this is what we got to talk about. This is real issues. This is why this podcast was birthed out. This is why this podcast is going to go forth. Because of things like this. This is real stuff. We talk about real life issues, but we relate it back to the Bible as well. Right? And in 2 Thessalonians, the 3rd chapter, verse number 10, it says, "For even when we were with you, we used to give you this order, that if anyone is not willing to work, then he is not to eat either." So I feel like she want to come up, you know, she used that as a way to try to get a come up. And then my bad. Ooh. And then she's saying that she be in the club, she come out the club, she in the Malibu, she driving a Malibu. Sis, do you understand that there's people out here that don't have no adequate housing and you complaining about you driving a Malibu? There's people that don't even have a car and you complaining about you driving a Malibu? You fortunate that you got something to ride on. You got something to ride in. While us in New York City, we got to take public transportation. We got to deal with people smoking crack on the train. We got to deal with Showtime. We got to deal with all these different things, man. We got to deal with all these things. We had Metro cars. We no longer got Metro cars. We got a system called Omni. They robbing us blind, man. Charging us when we not even riding the system, man. You know, rides have gone up to $3. You gotta, if you don't get an Omni card, you paying $3 each way. That's crazy. That's crazy to me. You paying $3 each way for the journey, man. And you want to talk about you driving a Malibu while people in New York that got cars, you got to worry about congestion pricing. You got to worry about speed cameras. You got to go 5 miles per hour because if you go 2 miles over the speed limit, boom, violation, ticket, mail to the house. If you get caught in the bus lane, boom, 150, mail to the house. They taking that picture of that license plate. You got to worry about all these different kind of things, man. The bug outs on the train. People smoking crack on the train. People smoking weed on the train. The homeless down there in the subway telling you to get out, because it's my home. Basically, they mark their territory. Do you know, sis, 2,500 is somebody's rent here in New York. Do you understand that? Do you understand that? 1 bedrooms is going for $2,000 and better. 3 bedrooms is going for $2,500 and better. Come on. Let's be honest. Let's be real. If you don't work, you don't eat. So, like I said, I could be successful as I am, but that does not mean because the people around me gonna do right. That don't mean that I could give you all the money in the world, everything you ask for. That don't mean you're going to do right. You need to have something other than me. You need to create something for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you could use my name, but you need to have identity outside of me. If I'm the breadwinner of the family. And that doesn't seem like she understands that. It doesn't seem like she knows that. You know? I'm sorry, y'all. I'm fired up. I'm cooking. I know I'm cooking. I'm fired up. I'm telling the truth. Nothing but the truth. I'm telling the truth. It's given entitlement. It's given ungrateful. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, we didn't need to know this. But out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth always gonna speak. The mouth always gonna speak what's in the heart. And that's true. Just like the Bible said, that's true. Even people drunk tell the truth. Yeah, you catch that. Even people drunk tell the truth. And so she also said, before I get out of here, she also said that Gorilla bought their dad a Jaguar. And they was like, we got the report that it's a white Jaguar. She said, well, what evidence do you have? What pictures do you have that she bought it? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, all right. Now, like I said, should Glorilla feel obligated to take care of family? Of course. You know she's doing something. She's not obligated. Let me say that. She's not obligated to take care of family. But obviously, she's taking care of those who she chooses to take care of. She don't have to, but out of love, out of the love, you know what I'm saying? Because she's in a position now where she can do that. But it's not with, like I said, it's not with the rest of the family, because the rest of the family would have came out and said the same thing that the sister said. But the beef is with the sister. The sister got beef with the sister. And let me tell you something. I bet you any amount of money that before this came out, this was brewing up to the surface. I bet you it's because Glorilla set boundaries. I bet you it's because Glorilla said no. And when you're doing and you're doing and you're doing for people, they say they love you when you're doing for them. They love it when you're doing and doing and doing and doing. When you say no, when you set boundaries, that's when you got a problem. And I'll give you a perfect example. I had a brother who I was with in foster care. I was in foster care for 2 years, from 12 years old to 14. And long and behold, I don't know if I found him on Facebook or he found me on Facebook. Long and behold, we talking, I'm congratulating him, he congratulating me, he say, yo, you came a long way, this and that and the third. And then he started to ask me for money. It was a little $5 here, little $5 there, $10 here, $15 there. And you get the same story all the time. I pay you back. You got $5 you can lend me, $10 you can lend me, $15 you can lend me. I pay you back. I pay you back. And then I gave it to him a few times. It went from 5 to 10, 10 to 15, 15 to 20. And I think the most he ever asked for, I think, was $30. Now, like I said, it was all good when I was giving it to him, because he always would come up with a sob story. Oh, I need money for Pampers. I don't have a way to get back and forth to work. My car broke down. This and that. All these things he was saying. All these different things. I don't know what was true and what was not true. I don't even know. He could have been lying. I don't know. But the point that I'm making is, I gave him what I could give him. I didn't have it to give myself, and I still gave out of what I didn't have. I gave it to him. And the time that I said no, you know what he did? He said, "You supposed to be a man of God. I thought you would help me. I thought you would, because you was a man because you supposed to be a man of God. I thought you was gonna help me." That was some nerve of him. So after that, you know what I did? I blocked him. I ain't talked to him since then because of that. No, because you're not about to do that. You're not about to sit up here and manipulate me. No, you're not about to do that. No. You're not about to do that. You understand? And it's when you say no, that's when it becomes a problem. But as long as you're supplying it, as long as you're jumping at a moment's notice, you're coming at their beck and call, you have no problem. But when you say no, when you set a boundary, that's when they get mad, because they can't manipulate you. That's when they get mad, because you're not moving how they want you to move. They want you to move to the beat of their drum. And when you don't move to the beat of their drum, that's when they get on this here internet and air it out. Tell everybody business. It don't matter what you done. It don't matter what you could have robbed Peter to pay Paul to give them what they asked for. You know what I'm saying? You could have, I don't know. I don't condone stealing, but you could have been boosting or something to get that money to give them. Let's be honest. They will never say the time that you came through for them, but the time that you didn't, the time that you couldn't, the times that you said no, that's what they remember. They don't remember those times when you didn't have it. When you probably took it out the rent to give to them. You took out your car fare to give to them. You took out of your own household to give to them. They don't know that. They don't understand that. People, like I said, people, no matter what you do, no matter how much you give, it's like to the human mind, to the flesh, it's never satisfied. The more you give, the more they want. The more you give, the more they want to take, and they're going to drain you until you got nothing left to give. And now, like I said, when you set boundaries, then you're everything but a child of God. You're everything in the book but a child of God. Well, yeah, man. She could have kept that. She could have kept that for real. She could have called Glorilla and told her, man. And I bet you any amount of money, Glorilla stopped answering the phone for her because of that. Because she knew she gonna act up. So there you have it, man. That's my observation. That's my take on it, man. Let me know what you think. If you make it big, are you obligated to help your family, your whole family? Or should you give or not give? But you got to also have discernment too, to give to who God tell you to give. Because we always feel, like I said, we obligated to give to this person. But if it was me, mind you, I'm giving to my mama, I'm giving to my aunt, I'm giving to my cousins, whoever, man. I'm giving to my granny. You know what I'm saying? I'm giving to whoever, man. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you was there for me through my darkest times, I'm giving to you. I'm gonna slide you a little something. But what you do with it after that point is up to you. And that's the thing, man. So y'all leave a comment down in the comment section below. Let me know what you think. Cause this is a good topic. I might get a friend. I might get one of my bros to come up here one of these days. I gotta get the schedule right and see. But one of these days I'm gonna see. If I could get them on here, we gonna talk about it. This probably be like a part 2. But y'all stay tuned, man. Thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. Welcome to another episode, Voice for the Voiceless podcast. First episode of the year. We back. And we going. And we running. We running it up. Alright, y'all have a blessed day. Have a great rest of your weekend. Peace.